Hi everyone, my name is Rosalyn and this is my second video with tips on how to lose weight and also get healthier. To those that have subscribed to my channel, I wanted to thank you. If you haven't, please do subscribe. Just click subscribe. Thanks. But I wanted to go over why I started doing these videos. I didn't actually get into that in my first video. I just wanted to get my message out there quickly. Um, but I actually went to the doctor back in, I think, last year of July, and I found out I had diabetes. Um, there were signs like I was getting really dry mouth. No matter how much water I drank, my mouth was so dry, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought it was certain medications that I was taking, but actually, it turned out that it was due to the diabetes. When I went in, I was actually going in for my pain in my hips and my back, and the doctor was like, "Oh, so how's your diabetes?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So that answered a lot of questions. It actually got me kind of freaked out because, at the time I was experiencing blurred vision, and I thought, it was because I was up at night late playing games, but I guess it was because my sugar was just really high. And, I was at a doctor's office, another doctor's office, anyways, talking about something else. And at the time, he happened to have like this poster on the wall saying, "Oh, diabetes can cause blindness." And at that moment, it just, really freaked me out. So, I had no one to talk to. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to do these videos, because I don't want anyone to feel alone. It's scary when you think something like that could happen, and you don't know what to do and you have nowhere to turn. But that's my main reason for getting serious about losing weight. Oh, tears. Gotta love that, right? But anyways, I got a little cheat here because I kept trying to do these videos earlier and I kept stumbling on my words. But I wanted to talk about why I told you to take a quarter of food off of your plate. Now, this is for if you're used to piling a whole bunch of food on your plate. We're not paying attention to how much food we're putting on there. And, we seem to think that we need to eat, everything that's in front of us. So, the reason why you want to take a quarter of food off of your plate is we want to start shrinking our bellies down to the proper size, that it's supposed to be, because we're so used to overeating that we've stretched our tummies out. I read that it's actually your tummy is the size of your fist. So we want to be able to, start eating the proper portions that'll fill us up. Now, of course, you're not only going to put a tiny little fist size, food on your plate, because, when you chew it down and it gets, if you've ever blended up food, it becomes a lot less than what you put on there. So anyhow, that's the purpose of taking the small portions off at a time. And of course, if you're already eating in small portions, you don't want to, starve yourself. This is, again, only if you're eating in larger quantities. Now, once you get to the point of eating in smaller portions, you're going to want to eat like every couple hours versus, our typical 3 meals a day. You're actually going to be eating every few hours. Now, what I wanted to talk about this week is the size of food that we're eating. We're so used to having like this large burger and a large fry and a large soda. My husband was stationed in Korea for a couple years, and we were able to, go out there with him and live out there and have that experience. And the first thing I noticed right away is their large size is our small or medium. They don't offer anything as big as our large or extra large out here. If you want, something bigger, you're going to have to buy 2 or 3 of their large to equal one of our large. So what we want to do is we want to stop getting large, large, large. That's a big no-no. So if you're used to, being on the go, you want to go ahead and, have them cut your burger in half. You don't need to have that big, huge burger. And, instead of getting that large fry and large drink for, oh, it's only an extra 40 cents or an extra dollar, well, the cost in the long run is going to be your health. So forget about the extra 40 cents or the extra dollar. So what if it's a deal? You don't have to eat all of that food unless, of course, you're sharing with someone, then yeah, it's an awesome deal. But, go ahead and, you know, go for a small fry and, half a burger, and you'll immediately start to notice within a week the difference on the scale. If you have not started weighing yourself, you want to go ahead and get a scale and, figure out how much you weigh. I personally like to weigh myself in the morning with no clothes on because I did not want to count weight of clothes. And you know what? When I was, a size 24, I I found out that clothes actually does weigh up to 2 or 3 pounds even. So you want to make sure that you're weighing yourself at the same time every. I personally like to do it every day. Some people say you shouldn't do it every day because it's more, it can be discouraging because you're not seeing a big difference. So I will go ahead and weigh yourself this week, and then weigh yourself again, next week after taking that quarter off of your plate for every meal. And I will honestly be quite shocked if you haven't lost any weight at all from doing that. I actually lost my first 10 pounds doing that. And, as I started to lose more weight, my husband and my son, they started to see that I've, lost a lot of weight, and they started to eat the way that I was eating. And my son so far has lost 30 pounds, and my husband has lost 40 pounds. So, it does work. You got to stick to it, but there is hope. The main thing about losing weight is sticking to it and continuing to do what you're doing. And, if you have a bad day, that's fine. Don't think to yourself, oh my gosh, I blew it today, so just forget the whole thing. No, just, get back to doing what you were doing, tomorrow. Or if you did treat yourself in one meal, then that doesn't mean you have to do it for every single meal. So the main thing is to just stick to it and, keep doing it, and you will definitely see the results. I'm not going to end up trying to sell you some crazy diet miracle pill that's going to make you shed the pounds, because I honestly don't believe in diet pills. If there was a diet pill out there that worked, we would all be taking that pill and we would be eating whatever we wanted. In fact, all these diet pill products, if you actually sit there and read the directions, it all says to do it with diet and exercise. So you don't need the pills. You just need to change your diet. And, I'm not going to talk about activity yet. I will get into that next week. But the main thing that we want to do is we want to start reducing, the quantities of food we're eating, and we want to shed some pounds before we start talking about activity. Also, what you want to do this week is you want to start some kind of food log. You want to write down everything that you're eating, and you want to start measuring what you're putting on your plate. You want to figure out, are you putting 2 cups of food on your plate? Are you putting 3 cups of food on your plate? After you put the food on your plate, that's when you want to go ahead and take the quarter off of your plate after you already put everything on there. And even if you haven't been measuring your food, you do have an idea of, having that big, huge potato or that big, huge steak or whatever it is that you may be eating in your regular diet. You want to just take a quarter off of your plate after you've, put everything on there. Also, what you want to do this week is you want to start reading labels. If you haven't already started doing this, you want to read your nutrition info. You want to figure out, how many calories are you eating on that plate, per meal and per snack, because this is how we're going to figure out how many calories you want to start reducing at a time. You don't want to go from eating 2,500 calories a day to eating 1,200 calories a day, because you will be starving. That's too big of a change. It's too fast. Anyways, you don't need to take off. You don't need to do that drastic change in the beginning, because you want to be able to still eat a decent amount of food and feel full and still see some weight coming off. So please don't make any drastic changes, because when you do that, that's pretty much setting yourself up for failure. Also, if you're looking for a great snack, because now that you're starting to reduce what you're eating, I love dill pickles. So that's an awesome snack. I don't really like the generic brands. I've actually tried all the different brands out there, trying to save money. And for some reason, with a lot of the generic brands, there's it seems to have like this grittiness to it, and I don't know why. I mean, if you do find a generic brand out there that's, you know, that you do like, then yeah, go for it. But dill pickles are a great in between snack for um a quarter size of a big huge dill pickle. It's like 0 calories. So I think a full pickle would be like 5 calories. Jordan, stop. So anyways, oh, yes, and another thing is, because I found out I had diabetes, I was trying to find all these little shortcuts. I was gonna cheat. I was gonna be able to eat that sugar and still be able to keep my sugar down. And I did so much research. I was gonna eat, increase my fiber, because I read somewhere that fiber reduces your carb count, and I don't know, or sugar count or whatever. But in all reality, once you have diabetes, you really can't eat the way you used to, and you do need to start reducing your portions, no matter what you're eating, because your body converts any kind of foods to sugar, some faster than others, some more than others. Others. But this is why portion control is also important. But what I did find that I absolutely love, stevia. That is the ticket right there. For me, anyways, for my taste buds, I tried all the different kinds of stevias out there, the powder one, the liquid one, the organic one. For me personally, my favorite brand is the organic Trader Joe's liquid stevia. It comes in a little glass bottle and it has a little dropper, and it only takes a few drops to be equal to a tablespoon of sugar. And I actually did a test on my kids and my husband. I went ahead and I love to do a lot of Asian cooking, so a lot of the teriyaki sauces and whatnot, they're really sweet. So I went ahead, instead of using sugar, I just used stevia in replacement of that. Nobody could tell the difference. I'm telling you, that stevia stuff is awesome. So if you do need to make a drastic change in your diet, because of your health, then personally, I like to cook with stevia. I don't like cooking with the artificial sweeteners, because I don't know, it just doesn't taste right. But stevia, liquid Trader Joe's organic stevia, is the one that I prefer. The powdered one to me has more of a bitter taste. So I mean, it's up to you, and it has to do with your taste buds. But I mean, if you really do need to do a change with your sugar right away, then for my taste buds personally, that's the way to go. And you know, it does seem like it's a bit expensive, but because you only need to use so little of it, it really doesn't make that big of a difference cost wise over time. Anyhow, um, but for now, you don't want to go ahead and get rid of all your foods. Like whatever you have in your fridge, go ahead and finish it out. Another thing is, I do not like fat free. Fat free is disgusting to me. I will not eat fat free anything because it's just gross. But light, however, tastes just as good as, the regular stuff, and it is lower in calories and fat. So if you can, switch over to light meal, or 1% milk versus whole milk, if you can, things like that. But for now, whatever you got in your fridge, finish it out. You don't need to spend a whole bunch of money to lose weight. You don't have to sign up for, some kind of food plan where it costs like $800 a month for one person to eat. I can't afford that. I got a family of 7 to feed, so including my dog, anyhow. So yeah, I mean, most certainly you can change your diet, change what you're doing. You know, like I said this in the first video, this is going to be a lifestyle change. It's something that, you want to keep doing for the rest of your life in order to stay healthy. I don't want to call it a diet, because diets seem so, it's such a temporary word. Really what we want to do is, over time, is we want to make a change. So yeah, if you haven't taken a quarter of food off of your plate yet, start doing it. If you did see my first video and you started doing it, and you feel comfortable and you feel fine in your stomach, um, what I did was I ended up reducing it down to half at some point. But if you're still seeing pounds come off the scale and you're still losing weight, then by all means keep doing it. Like I said, why change or reduce if you're still losing? So just go ahead and do that. And like I said, I'll be extremely shocked if you don't see a difference in the scale. In my next video, though, I do want to talk about activity and why I haven't mentioned it. And I will leave you with this. There is something that I do every day that gets me through my cravings. And I want to say I go through about a pack a day. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to leave you wondering, and I'll go ahead and answer that question next week. But until then, good luck, and, keep on trying to do what you're doing. And just like I said, take that quarter off of your plate. Dill pickles are a great snack, and I love that stevia. All right, you guys. I hope you have an awesome week.